everybody to another virtual event presented to you by the Mesquite Arts Council. I'm your host and instructor, Erica Guajardo, and today we're going to be talking about the life and history of Diego Rivera. This content is intended for a younger audience at first, but can also be cherished by an older audience during our painting time. So, before we get started painting, let's explore a book that I checked out at the Mesquite Public Library. Diego Rivera, His World in Ours, written by Duncan Tonatiuh. Diego Rivera was born in Mexico, in a city called Guanajuato, which means the land of the frogs. As a boy, Diego enjoyed playing with his trains, but more than anything, he liked to draw. Diego loved drawing so much that when he was a young man, he sailed on a ship across the ocean. He went to the city of Madrid in Spain to study art under the direction of a well-known painter. There he learned the classical way to paint, which means his finished paintings look very realistic, almost like photographs. After his studies, Diego went to Paris, the capital of France. There he met young artists who were painting in new and exciting ways. He experimented with these new methods of painting himself. One method was called cubism, in which the painting did not exactly resemble its subject, but was composed of geometric shapes such as squares, circles, and triangles. One day, a politician named José Vasconcelos urged Diego to return to Mexico. He wanted Diego and other artists to paint murals around the city about the Mexican people's history and customs. Diego was thrilled by this new project. When he returned to his homeland, Diego traveled through its deserts, mountains, and jungles. He wanted to be inspired by his country. He met people who worked the land, and he visited the ruins of ancient Mexican civilizations, like those of the Aztecs and the Mayans. On the walls of an important government building, Diego painted the history of his country. He painted the struggle of the Mexican people to break free from the Spanish king. He also painted the fight that took place many years later when farmers and workers defended themselves against greedy men who were taking advantage of them. Diego painted his country's dance and traditions, such as La Zanduga, a love dance from the coastal area, and the dance of Los Listones, a ribbon dance from the south. He wanted to celebrate the things that were special to Mexico and wanted Mexicans from all distant parts of the land to learn about their culture and feel proud. Diego lived to be an old man. By the time he passed away, he had created many wonderful works and was celebrated by people in Mexico as well as all around the world. But if he were alive today, what would he paint? Would he paint the way we dress and live? Would he paint the way we play? Would he paint the big city? As he painted the ancient Aztec city of Tenochtitlan, or would he paint students at their desk, just as he painted factory workers in the production line? Maybe Diego would paint shops at the mall, as he painted street vendors selling flores. Or would he paint the luchadores wrestling in their costumes, just as he painted the Aztec warriors fighting the invading soldiers, the Spanish conquistadors? Would Diego paint our craze for monsters and creatures from outer space, as he painted the god Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent? Diego's murals teach us about the past, but they also show a better future for common people. Diego imagined everyone, men and women, boys and girls, of all ages and nationalities, living together and caring for one another. Today, Diego is not around to make this happen. So it's up to us to make our own murals and bring them to life. Well, that was a great book, wasn't it? I surely thought so. And I learned a couple of things too. Well, today we're going to be focusing on creating a canvas creation. And I know some of you are staring at your screen because y'all are amazing followers of our virtual programming, and you're wondering, I've seen that image before. Well, you're correct. This image was actually presented during our August 25th programming for MAC Doodles. I showed you how to create this image from scratch, utilizing a reference. Since Diego Rivera was known to illustrate and paint of what he knew in the Mexican culture, I thought it'd be fun to not necessarily replicate exactly, but emulate and maybe do a detail cut of an area, which is right here. With this, we are celebrating the fantastic works of Diego Rivera, and we're also making it our own. If you want to learn how to create this from scratch, I'll put a link down below where you can reference our MAC Doodles episode, where we teach you how to create this. Also, you can learn about other Latin artists while you're at it. So, once you've reviewed this, you got to this point, then the next part is to learn how to render or put color onto the page to bring it alive. So if you're ready to start that process, I'm ready to start teaching you. Well, did you get paint all over yourself and have a blast? I know I did. Just to let you know what's coming up for the Mesquite Arts Center, one of our biggest events of the year, which is Dia de los Muertos. This event hosts about 3,000 people, and due to COVID concerns, we're going to be hosting this annual event outside in the perimeter of our facility. We'll also utilize the courtyard space, which is inside the Mesquite Arts Center in an outside area. I know, it's a little confusing, but once you get here, you'll understand. This is free to the public, and it's family friendly. Some of the things that you're going to see while you visit us during this cultural event is a Day of the Dead altar. You're going to see live performances. You're going to see a Day of the Dead altar, vendors that are artists and artisans. You're also going to see fun activities for the whole family, such as sugar skull painting, mask painting, and you could create your very own t-shirt using a silk screen process. Wow. I feel like we're all caught up, and if we're not, remember that if you want to be part of our event, we still have a call for vendors. So make sure to check out our social media and see how you can get involved with your community. Until we see each other again, stay safe